Thanks, Chrissy. It's a pleasure to be here, and a nice reference to Tony Rivera. I liked his story about a year ago being here presenting, and feels that Premier1's one of the few, brand new company in terms of we brought it to market January 25 when we demerged from Sensor, which is an AI machine learning technology group, which is moving to internationally, as Chrissy was mentioning. But we are right at the beginning of the journey. We are a small cap. We've got some very significant, exciting results from the application of machine learning and artificial intelligence to being able to process very large continental scale data sets. We're using advances, or Sensor and Premier1 have been using advances in AI and ML techniques. So imagine if you can go and extract all of the reports over Western Australia or all over the key mining areas, be able to take out the keywords, be able to geolocate them within a space, and be able to turn those into quantitative data layers, be able to train the computer to be able to do the job of a geochemist, be able to ingest, desurvey and integrate 70 million different types of surface assay samples across the relevant areas, all of the drilling components there, and be able to process it with the geophysics. So the sensor technology that was developed, if you think about it, it is about preparing all of the ingredients to be able to make new discoveries and be able to really fast track the decision-making processes in that regard. So market cap's around 7 million. We brought on, as part of the demerger process, Deutsche Rohstoff out of Germany. It follows on very much from some of the critical mineral stories we've heard about over the last couple of days. So Europe is short of some of the key ingredients that it needs for its battery and critical minerals transition. Deutsche Rohstoff is investing heavily in downstream battery manufacturing areas, and also is a large investor in many of the companies that you've heard from in the lithium space today. So they are at the forefront of many European companies that are looking at how they secure their supply, and they see Western Australia, where our projects are, as one of the best places to go shopping for not only companies and assets, but also in the current downturn looking for opportunities to be able to grow on the M&A scale, given the downturn in the market at that point. So we have Anja Esser on our board from Deutsche Rohstoff, a geologist, vice president of geology from Deutsche Rohstoff, with experience working in Africa, Asia and different parts of the world. Nick Lim is our chairman, previously developed projects in Senegal and Norway for mineral sands processes. And we're very much, I guess, still a tightly held stock, but very much built around the prospects of being able to grow and taking a long-term perspective on lithium, although probably at this point you do need to take a long-term perspective on lithium, and even despite some green shoots that we're seeing from the Albemarle contracts. So why invest in Premier1? We have a leading position in one of what we believe to be one of the best jurisdictions in the world for hard rock lithium, located on large features that we see coming out of the data that host some of the major mines for lithium in that area. And I'll talk about two of the projects that we've got, Abbots North near Meekatharra, and the Montague project in our joint venture with Gateway Mining. And these are proof of concepts of what you can do when you can process vast amounts of data and be able to get to locations and be able to get on the ground quickly and effectively explore them and make decisions about exploration. So really shortening the process between an idea, data-generated idea, getting on the ground and being able to drill it, and reaching a decision on size and economic potential faster than potentially other people can. We have a lot of joint ventures with different companies that we've been able to pull together for lithium. We've recognised particularly that some of the best ground in Western Australia are held by gold companies, which are required by shareholders and others to be able to stay true to stick to their knitting, be able to invest in gold. They may not be able to pivot to lithium in that process, but in that opportunity, the proximity from gold and lithium in the Archean area, we've been able to liberate a number of different lithium rights in that process, and created value for our joint venture partners who otherwise would need to not be able to explore for those components. And As you see, some of those new potential deposits have been hiding in plain sight. Our first sort of discovery in this process was related to Abbots North, and so it's a great concept really. You go from getting an output from a data machine saying, here are the high prospectivity correlation areas from multiphysics and geochemistry and geology, all the ingredients are in this location, but it's not previously known for lithium. No lithium exploration, gold assays only. We send out our teams onto the field, we go and look for fertile pegmatite areas, and we come back here with 1.25% lithium oxide from pegmatites outcropping on surface. So I think there is a lot in this, and that there is a lot more new discoveries to be made in Western Australia as we really refine the toolkit for greenfields lithium exploration. As many of you might know, many of the lithium mines started their life as maybe tin or tantalum projects, and that we're really still looking at the early days of how you create the exploration toolkit for lithium. It hasn't been helped by the fact that in the assay process, for many years we were using a lithium flux, to be able to do assays, and it meant that unless you particularly wanted to assay for lithium, and before the battery revolution came through, there were potentially not as many reasons to assay for lithium, and it means that lithium in the WA data sets is one of the least assayed for metals within the suite. So we've been doing innovative things with our geochemists and with our AI to be able to reconstruct that missing lithium element from the pathfinder elements that have been historically assayed for. So pretty exciting, revolutionary stuff. So where are our projects? You can see Abbots North there near Meekatharra. It's 40 minutes from the town mining, very large sort of historical mining centre. Western Gold is sort of operating very close to the town there. We can base out very easily from the centre of the town and just drive 40 minutes to site along historic haul roads from many legacied operations there. So again, showing that correlation between fertile gold and lithium, not together, but proximate, and within that sometimes called Goldilocks zone. But also we can quantify where that can be based on looking at the granite predictions and other things in those locations. You can see on the map as well the major lithium producers and lithium occurrences right across the Yilgarn. It might be a bit small on that one, but you can see the major structures that seem to be pulling together many of the lithium trends in that area. We think that there are other parts of that, of the systems in the Yilgarn, which can host potentially as many discoveries as have been on that Mount Marion, Kathleen Valley trend that you can see highly represented there. So that's where we're looking out around Yalgoo, Gecko North, Montague and Abbots North. So just turning to talk a little bit about our flagship project, Abbots North, you can see that it's in a favourable lithology, hosted in the mafic stratigraphy right near a fertile granite. When we're looking at the Goldilocks zone, we've got to think about it in 3D. There are multiple granite potential hosts in this area, and so we're continuing to learn more and more as we get onto the ground. It's important we raised $3 million back in December, probably at the very sort of end of, or as lithium prices sort of came down very quickly. We were able to get on the ground and be able to drilling this project by February. It shows that we're operating in a jurisdiction that's very friendly to mining, that has community support in that area, that land access is important to go through the process, but it can happen really quickly. We can go from idea, project acquisition, field work and drilling within a 2 to 3 month period, and be able to refine and gather more information and be able to pull that information into our learning model and be able to further vector towards where we see opportunities there. So we completed our first drill program, very quick scout program in February. We're waiting for assays at the moment. We're already into phase 2 heritage clearance of that area based on work we've done with ERM and some of the experts in lithium. They've identified more opportunities within that portfolio for us to be able to follow up on very rapidly into a second RC program. So you can see when our geologists went to the field, these are the pegmatites that outcrop. The intervening areas there are covered by a shallow cover location, so we can track those pegmatites continuously over about a 1.5 kilometre area of strike, between 0.8% and 1.25% lithium on surface. We're seeing the surface expression being relatively narrow, but looking at counter projects that have happened that can blow out very quickly around structures and other areas. So we see that the fertility elements, the fractionation, the potassium, whole rock potassium rubidium ratios, and other items that we're looking at to be able to vector towards new lithium targets are showing up strongly in this location. We've looked at also doing quite a bit of geochemistry work, which is showing further targets to the north and to the east. So I guess when we drilled, RC drilling down to about 200 metres, intercepted sort of swarms of pegmatites over that area, multiple phases in that component, and it's putting us towards saying, well, where are these going to blow out into larger areas? So we're waiting for the assays. We think it's going to be, they're going to have, the visually is quite strong and interesting, and there are opportunities as we move under shallow area where we'll be able to get larger and better and bigger potential in that location. Some of the work we've also done with the geochemistry ratios also is validated by the work with ERM. That northern area is very exciting, the eastern area undercover. The surface geochemistry is showing a very good ability to be able to pick up additional targets once you're not near the colluvium component. We've also been out on Montague. This is a joint venture with Gateway Mining. You can see in the dotted line the predicted target from purely AI-generated information from desktop work. This highlighted the structure in this area, in an area with no previous lithium exploration, but it's largely on mining leases, so it's quite easy to get in and work very quickly. Our field mapping program has literally just completed. You can see that there are multiple pegmatites that have been mapped over that area using LIBS and XRF. We've got good numbers coming back from surface. We know we're in a fertile system, has good potassium rubidium ratios to be able to work with, and we're pretty excited about what we want to see. We're seeing big structures there. We're seeing quite a contiguous with the pegmatites between what the AI was predicting and where the pegmatites have been found on the ground, and big structures that can host large projects. Similarly with Yalgu, where Firetail has the intervening area between our Yalgu West and our Yalgo tenement. They have historical lithium pegmatites there grading up to 3.25% lithium. They have been on an RC program and encountered fertile pegmatites in that area of the AI target which we've identified, so we know that the AI is getting us into the right locations, and that's doing it time and time again. So our ability to get on and explore, drill, determine where there's going to be potential for large projects is excellent. We have a great team behind us and backing to be able to achieve it. We'll be on the ground here in Yalgu. It's a very big area. It's a very large target. We've got multi-commodity rights in this area, and it's going to be the next cab off the rank for us. So the key takeaways in relation to Premier1, we have an excellent building portfolio of greenfields opportunities in an area we think as being one of the best jurisdictions for getting on the ground fast, getting land access, and being able to drill and test in places where you don't have to wait for a very long period of time. Abbots North is showing that we can get the right aspects and the right grades and be able to develop our team and be able to turn over projects quickly. We're excited about Montague, we're excited about Yalgu, and we're excited about the opportunity to be able to do further deals with gold and other companies to be able to grow this with the backing of Deutsche Rohstoff. Thanks, Chrissy.
Thank you.